Hello, my friend online. I'm your old friend, Mr. John. Welcome to Hatala webinar. So just give me a few minutes to do adjustment. Okay, let me start my today's topic. So today I would like to talk about the electric power. So it's my great distinguish the audience to everybody for one now. So as we know, the ensuring constant power supply, regardless of the condition or environment, is much critical to a nation and important for society to function and thrive. So on a brief tour in the coming 30 minutes or maybe 40 minutes, my main job is try to give out an answer that how Hatala solution could help electric power industry to address their requirement. And the first part is about the electric power the feature analysis. So let us go to see for some more detail. So as shown here, an electrical grid is an interconnected network for the electricity delivery from the producer to consumer. So it's vary in size and cover whole country or continent. So it's consists of the generation, often located near by the energy and the transmission to carry the power long distance and the substation to step voltage up or down. So as you here, you can find here, the voltage will step up after generation and gradually step down. And finally, is the distribution or consumption. So it's go to the individual customer. So one more tips, the electricity is transmitted at a speed close to the speed of light. Electricity is not free available in nature. It must be produced. So electricity generation is the process of other form of energy into the electricity. So normally transmission and distribution were openly owned by the same company. It's known as the power grid or just grid. But in some country, known as the national grid. So to offer the resolution, better understanding its feature and requirement is mandatory. So let's look at the electricity power from the radio communication perspective, different viewing angle, how it's working. So for utility in the electric power industry, the generation is the stage prior to its delivery. So let us see the power generation feature first. Depending on the production mode, it could be called the power plant or power farm. As a power plant, electricity is most often generated by the fossil fuel, nuclear fission, flowing water. So it will occupy a large footprint area and built by the complex structure with the reinforced concrete. In some cases, the size of the power plant can range from the 1,000 square feet. It needs very strict, safe rules and guidelines for such high density staff, roughly about more than big 100, the security management. So our purpose is to keep the electricity power produced uninterrupted. So compared to the power plant, the artificial building, the power farm is more close to the nature. That's the solar and the wind power normally located at the remote area, so far away from the city with the poor telecom cover, few people permanent, and a few site staff only on site when needed, like routine inspection or maintenance, and they need to be able to communicate with the control center. So let's go to see some more feature first. Go to the grid feature. The electric power transmission is the bulk movement of the electricity energy from the power plant to an electrical substation. The typical feature of transmission is long distance. That's the reason why electric power requires high voltage, which could be reduced the loss of the produced by the heavy current. And because of its long distance, the wide area in normal situation was divided into several regions that need a regional management. And the electric power distribution is the final stage in the delivery of the electric power. So it's carry electricity from the transmission system to the individual customer. So the voltage is usually under the 35 kV voltage or below. It includes the association, the substation, the transformer on the pole, or the power coordinate on the low side, and finally to the customer meter. So it mainly covers the urban and rural area with large power consumption, like industrial, commercial, or household consumer. Okay, until now, the raw feature analysis of the electric power is finished. Let's go back to my original question. What kind of radio communication service could help electric power more safe and reliable? So my answer is voice, data, and the video. So it's always going to be the voice first. The digital radio network is key for voice communication to enable continuous and seamless workflow on a wide range scale. So I do here divide electric power into several parts of and do some different color just for the easy understanding. So first, go to the green area. For the farm plant, power plant, thermal, nuclear, and hydropower. So working in a power plant industry is one of the most potentially dangerous place to work in than other field and position. This is due to the medium risk of employee getting injured by the defective wiring or high voltage temperature. So because of this, it's extremely important for all of power plant personnel to have an effective radio communication. Second, as facing large building area and complex structure, it's needed to provide wireless communication throughout the site, also including the reactor building. So the radio coverage needs to be supported for outdoor and indoor area in both facilities. So last, in a power plant, a troubleshooting call, an emergency request need to be handled and processed frequently, typically from the 75 to 100 calls per day. So with above understanding, so I strongly recommend using the DMR trunking with the high channel and user capacity to resolve the voice requirement and using the VDA to extend the radio coverage. Okay, for the second, the yellow area is cover the power plant, power farm, the transmission line, transformer, distribution rule. So for this area, typical feature is long distance and normally with poor telecom signal cover. So what we need to do first, it's very important that the radio system used should have a long distance wide coverage ability, and higher alpha power is much better to cover large geography area. Second, the power towers are usually deployed in a tough environment, multi-area, with the poor telecom cellular cover with no more other communication means are. So the third, the transmission network work in unattended operation, just only few people per minute. So work on site only for the routine inspection or problem maintenance. And during their daily operation, the field staff need to communicate with the region control center. So I think with about this feature, we recommend using the low channel or low user capacity system like the DMR Tier 2, the IP conversion or simulcast system, but with higher much power, 100 watt for the wider coverage. So in the event of the power outage in a large area, so when electric supply are disturbed, restoring the power required the close coordination of a member of the team. So during the disaster recovery, to resolve fault, electrical energy need both reliable communication with the emergency product on remote location where no other communication means are. Okay, let's go to the third. The purple area is especially for the urban distribution. So obviously, as here, you will find a much better public cellular signal. That's POC service is another good choice for voice communication. And compared to the transmission area, employee need to bear more workload and on-site attendance. That will result in higher frequency call and more traffic volume. So as here, we recommend using the chunking and the POC service here. So okay, I will pause the voice button. So let's to see the data and the video part. Because the data and the video could go through the generation and grid all elements, so I mark the same color as the green. So here I will just only talk about the how SCADA make the data more automatic and mobile office, how to is boost efficiency. So first, go to the SCADA, the data automation. In today's electric powering system, almost all networks are monitored and controlled online by Energy Management System, EMS. The main transmission lines are usually equipped with the fiber optic cable because it's cost-effective and the best choice. But in a remote area of the power transmission, however, where the installation of the fiber optic cable is not economical, so you need the PLC, the power line carrier communication, or the public cellular or PMI network as the data transmission supplement. So using the DMR attached trunking SCADA solution is suitable for use mostly in case where other communication channel like the public cellular can't cover. So as the following SCADA solution chapter, I will introduce more detail how our Hightelio solution SCADA is working. So for the mobile service, how it boosts the efficiency. The narrowband service like the voice and like the SCADA is a much common application to make electric power run more safe and automation. So we believe broadband is also expected to play an increasingly important role in the information management. So utility right now still rely heavily on the manual inspection, which tend to be inefficient, time-consuming, and in some area, it's much more dangerous. A broadband service like the mobile office can help to transform this service and provide the right foundation to digitize much of the inspection process, including the inspection of the substation and transmission line. So here is a case using the broadband radio service to digitize inspection. So I name this case as if life could start all again. So just please enjoy it.
Bunun sonucunda çalışan enerjinin etki alanına girerek direkten düşmüştür. Şimdi de bu iş kazasında yapılan yanlışların doğru şeklini izleyelim.
Life could start all again.
Çalışmaya başlamadan önce kullanılacak kişisel koruyucu donanım malzemeleri kontrol edilmelidir. Yüksekte yapılan çalışmalarda emniyet kemeri ve çift kollu lanyard kullanılması şarttır. Çalışmaya başlamadan önce ilgili alan için enerji kesintisi yapılmalı.
98 kontrol merkezi.
Kontrol merkezi dinlemeden.
Binatlı kökten Binatlı fiderini keseceğiz. Otuz panosu okumak için.
Ustam, OG eldivenli katabilir misin?
Kesinti yapıldığına yönelik teyit alındıktan sonra OG eldiveni kullanılarak OG dedektörü ile enerji kontrolü yapılmalıdır. Kontrol sonrası yapılacak mahalle hat topraklaması ile çalışmaya başlanmalıdır.
Okay, so by this short video, you could find that thousands of devices and operation process can be checked in real time to make power grid safe running. So let's go to my second part. So with about my electric power analysis, we do believe that a secure, reliable, economical power supply is closely linked to a fast, efficiency, and a dependable communication infrastructure. So the planning and implementation of the communication network require the same attention as the installation of the power supply system themselves. So here's an overview of the unified and comprehensive system. So it covers 3 technology standards and emergency communication. So from the terminal to application, it's adopt the popular layer 3 architecture. So Hightaler can offer end-to-end solution with abundant options. So full steel terminal, including the vehicle mounting terminal, handheld mounting terminal, and anti-explosive terminal, and a SCADA modem. So infrastructure base station adapted to the diversified deployment scenario, outdoor, indoor, wall mount, or top mount. An application is the information interaction center of all network elements, command expression, network management system, recorder, virtual mapping, location, and terminal device management. So to put it simply, in addition to providing reliable and secure voice communication between the individual and group, it also provides the ability to locate and transmit the short text message, record call, as well as send status and alarm message. So here, I will do pick some part of the for sharing 1, 2, 3, system network, emergency communication, and SCADA modem. More production detail, you could go access our website for the further information. So in 2011 or in 2010, Hightaler launched the world's first the DMR chunking system, the Chunking Pro, especially for the public security mission critical service. In 2012, we immediately released the DMR Chunking Lite system for commercial and energy and utility market, and Chunking Cube for outdoor scenario as 2017. So please can know that all Hightaler system DMR is supported simulcast feature. Let's provide wide coverage but with the same frequency. And all the Chunking Lite and conventional IP repeater, this could work in 100 RF mode with wide coverage for power transmission long distance network. The DMR in Hightaler hand grow much faster. Right now, we had already deployed more than 90,000 transceiver, more than 550 network all the world. The global DMR chunking market share reached as high as 70% according to the IHS report. So we also get remarkable achievement in the touch system. In 2015, we have a contract to build the largest touch network in Europe. The project allowed an amount up to 100 million Europe. So Netherlands, the public safety network C2000. So we had already deployed 1,000 DIV R5, the advanced base station, which also used in the Russia FIFA World Cup in 2018. So last year, we have a contract, the DOPA project in Thailand, the DOPA project, deployed more than 200 sites. So its typical feature like only 10 kilogram weight and only 75 watt power consumption is well accepted by the end user. So besides this, the outdoor base station supports smart mode. That's quite suitable for the power plant. Out of the box or inside, maximum support 5 sites, work in the distributed mode, web-based network management system. And when you are in the refinery or when you are in the power plant, the basement, we had to face the reinforced concrete and steel structure are blocking the radio signal transmission. So using the BDA, it will extend the signal coverage. The purpose is to no blind area, offer the seamless communication with the indoor antenna distribution system. So when there's a disaster on long term, the power outage, you need backup emergency communication. During the hurricane, the Katrina, in 2005, more than 70% of the cell tower went down and stayed down for weeks. So the truth is that using a cell phone communication and a PMR in this situation is very vulnerable. You need emergency product. So I think EPAC is quite good for the suggestion. It is a self-contained and quick response product designed for emergency situations such as the mass rally, natural disaster, and a terrorist attack. It can be used independently without relying on other external facilities, such as power system and IP network. The terminal could connect to the EPAC repeater for large coverage communication. So its work as a self-organizing network, ad hoc mode, is supported as most 31 node device, any of which can join or leave the network at any time without affecting the communication in progress. It supports versatile topology such as the chain, mesh, and hybrid. So it also could utilize the GSM as a backup link in the case that any of two nodes move more far each other. So they can use the GSM link to establish communication connection. So it's quite small and lightweight, easy for move and local deployments for the transport. Okay, let's go to the SCADA, the data part. The SCADA is key for utility in such application as the remote monitoring of the overhead power line, monitoring liquid level, and the control of the pumping system. Hightel SCADA solution provide a remote data, the monitoring and controlling professional SCADA modem for data acquisition and protocol transfer. It supports the standard IEC 101, 104, or DNP 3.0 and Modbus protocol. So we know 101 is for the SDS and 104 for the PD IP technology. So it's connected to RTU, located as a transformer on a pole, or power coordinate on the low side. After all the data collected, it will transfer over the information over the air using the DMR or TETRA PMR network, and finally go back to the data management system. Here, I will do some example. In normal situation, we widely utilize the SCADA to make the medium voltage grid access used as the remote control and the supervision of the circuit breaker and the disconnect, because it consists of a large amount of control point distribution over the whole power grid. Second, in contrast to large power plant, there are no other available communication line here for this point. So most important, the required function of each control point is relatively simple, with only purely optical communication and low data throughput, for which DMR and TETRA is quite a suitable solution for this data size payload. For example, the meter concentrator, typically at the 33K bit every 50 minutes. So one more important is that using a PMR, TETRA or DMR is an efficient choice for electrical power because it's the unrivaled network security will give consumer total confidence that their data is kept confidential. Okay, so if you are in a power plant or urban distribution, we had one more choice. That's Hightel high-talk communication solution over the public network. The Hightel high-talk Pro, Hightel high-talk is pushed to talk over the cellular solution. Let's provide the national communication through the public network. the typical area like the power plant or urban distribution, the broadband technology accessed via Hatelepok platform can confront existing narrowband service and data service to support applications such as the mobile office, big data, and the video application. It is cost effective without additional wireless infrastructure investment. No need to apply for expensive frequency resource, and no need to wait a long time. Just rely on the existing 3G, 4G, or WL network for provide the instant communication. So if you had already deployed the DMR Tetra, but you want with the broadband service requirement, and the most important, that you want to make them interaction work together. So HiTalk Pro or MCS is the right solution for you to save existing investment and extend the broadband service. It's deliver the voice, video, and data services as the broadband side. The key feature is that it supports the dual mode with the same frequency, no matter whether the terminal registered with the narrowband or broadband network. It's used the same ID, the number, to access the wireless service. So this makes it much more easier for configuration and the management. So with Hatelepok platform, you could apparently boost your efficiency. Here is a typical mobile office application using a POC terminal for quick meter reading and a bill automatically print. The optical camera, the module, read the meter data by the IC protocol, electrical meter data exchange standard, and using the Bluetooth, input the reading into our PNC 550. The meter reader app on the PNC 550 will backhaul the data over the LTE network and finally to the system control system and calculate a customer bill automatically, and a bill can be printed immediately using a portable printer. So here is one more. The real field staff using Hatelepok terminal read the meter data to save time and boost efficiency.
Hükümleri okuyacağız.
Oh, repeat again. Okay. So right now, my presentation is almost close to finish. The last part, I want to share some of the case we had already success for other religion. So first, as here, so there's you could find some one common feature. The base station, the quantity normally less than 5, but with the 100 or even 1,000 terminal, even more. So here I will do some of the selection case for sharing. The Ontario, the case happened in Canada. So it is a nuclear power generation. It's located close to the north shore of the Lake Ontario in Canada. Everybody know that after the Fukushima, the nuclear disaster happened in Japan in 2011, a project named FETEP was established. It's aimed to the catastrophic of possible scenario, such as the complete loss of power system for 4 days, or total loss of the coverage both inside or outside the power plant with a radius of about 40 kilometers. So all the nuclear power plant, they want to revise their communication requirement. That's Ontario, the power generation came up with this situation and request a deployable rapid response Tetra system to cover the plant and the system needed to be able to run for 74 hours on its own power supply. This means 3 days. So in this situation, the nuclear power plant roll out the attached base station, providing the wireless communication throughout the site, including the reactor building. So go through the power grid, the case study. So compared to the power generation, you may find the big difference is that the base station, the quantity is much larger due to the power grid long distance transmission and the wide area coverage. As I introduced before, normally transmission and distribution were often owned by one company or by same company, so they share one PMR network. But at the metropolitan area, like the Bangkok MEA in Thailand or Johannesburg in the South Africa, they would like to build the network separately. So here's some more case about the data and the video application. As I introduced before, one main feature of the power distribution is huge number of the electrical terminal units. You could find here thousand and more hundred. So SCADA case I show here provide the PMR is fully qualified to realize the data automation. Okay, until now, my today's webinar sharing is close to finished. We fully agree that it's always going to be the voice first for electric power. While we also believe the PMR could do more beyond voice. So rely on the PMR network, the SCADA could be used as a power distribution scenario to make the medium voltage, roughly about 35 kV voltage grid accessible. In the meantime, we never stop to explore application of the broadband in the power industry, like the mobile office with the POC terminal and the digital video inspection with the body worn camera. So our purpose is to help transform the traditional service and boost the efficiency. Okay, so thank you everyone. My today's presentation webinar is finished. So if we want to get more information about our product, you could access the Facebook link and the instant and the chat, and also go to our website to get more information. Okay, thank you very much. So everybody, if we have some question, I would like to answer here now.
Okay, next play, if you have any questions. Yes, the recording of this webinar will be available and will send to you by email, your registration email. Okay, so any more question?
Okay, let me answer the question. Come from India. When the new DMR SCADA modem will be released? According to our planning, it could be released as the November this year. This year, November.
Any more question? It's a great opportunity to exchange some ideas with Paddy because he's very professional on the solution as well as Hatera's products. Okay, seems you have a very good understanding of Hatera's electricity power solution. And again, if you have any more questions or want to know more about our solutions, you can email to us or send us your message. Yes, so this will be the end of today's webinar. Thank you again for joining us, and we are so great to have you in this webinar. And please also pay attention to that. We will have much more upcoming webinars, and please stay tuned. Okay, so
thank you, my friend. See you next time. I'm your old friend, Mr. John.
Thank you. Oh, one more question.
Does the system solution are all available with Hatera? Yes, we could offer a complete solution. So what's the advantage technology for electric power for DMR temperature? Advantage technology for electric power. For electric power is much more a big question. So I would like to know which part you are interested in. For example, like the power plant, distribution, or the transmission. So I will go back to my presentation here, okay? Just wait a moment. Because you could find here is a little different area, yes. So the SCADA transmission and the distribution. Okay, for the SCADA, the case had already given you the right answer. You could find here. Hatcher is the best choice. But of course, DMR is also available. Because as I introduced before, the most important is that the packet, the payload of the data is available for both DMR and Hatcher, and encryption is the same.
Is this helpful, Andy, or do we need more explanation for you?
Yeah, because until now, the Hatcher system is already released more than 25 years. So compared to the DMR, Hatcher is more mature and accepted by the end user. So it will be widely accepted and used, especially for the developed country. You could find here like the Hong Kong, like the South Korea, and so on. So it will give more some the reference to everyone. So for the impact on Hatcher, can the number of the node be increased for increased efficiency in coverage area, the power grid? For the impact for the Hatcher, right now is only support 3 nodes because of some limitation. But I will feedback your requirement and ask our R&D what is possible to extend or increase the number of the node that Hatcher is could be support.
Yes, Felix. Can you please give your email address so we can send you our solutions details and give you some answers? You can give your email address to us.
And
Felix.
also, Felix, I also want to one more question. Thank you for asking about this one. Could you give also some scenario or describe the background why you need the Hatcher impact? Okay, so that's easy for understanding, and we could offer the best solution for you.
Okay, thank you, Felix. We say your email address.
Yeah. No. Okay. Is this mean the DMR only suitable for the voice? Of course, the answer is not. Just I explained before, because the Hatcher is released more long ago than DMR, so it's much more mature. But until now, Hatcher also released the DMR modem is using now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Andy, we also see your email address and we'll share you more details.
Okay, no problem. I think your system already deployed with the DMR, so you could give some more information, for example, like which country and what kind of end user you are using now. So we would like to push some EDM or some the brochure or some all solution to you and exchange our information with each other. Yes.
Yes, so maybe we can help you. Okay, so last time, any more question?
And also, I hope you could describe more information about that. Is it used in the power distribution or just only used for the power plant? It's very important. And how many the data size? This will be overbuilt.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. So if you want to hear more about Hatera, you can leave your email address and tell us the details that you want to know, so we can send you. Okay. So I guess we're finished. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you again in the upcoming Webless. Thank you.
See you
Bye-bye.
next time, my
Bye-bye.
friend.